Hi everybody, this is Erkin Fresh, aka Blue Phoenix. I actually got a request on one of my previous tutorials asking how you harmonize bass within Synfire. So let me just give you an example of what we'll be making in this tutorial. More namely, this pretty complex bass pattern here is actually very super simple to make. So that's what we're going to end up with. Let me close Sinfire and run Ableton. So one thing that Sinfire doesn't do, at least not yet, is import audio and turn it into MIDI for you. So we have to do that in Ableton right now. It's actually not too terrible. So let me show you what I do. And let me take this, pause that piano. So I've got this vocal sample here.
Like a circle, no beginning. Can't you show me how to break in?
And I just got this out of like a little sample pack I bought a while back. And basically we're going to turn this into MIDI notes. The easiest thing to do here is do a convert melody to new MIDI track. And Ableton will wave its magic wand and figure out what the notes are. And if we hit solo on this, so you'll notice it's close. it's got sort of the right idea, but we're gonna fix that. First thing to do is kind of cancel out this velocity because we don't actually care about the velocity of it. And I actually have a piano instrument set up here in Contact, and so I'm just going to drag those notes over into my piano because it sounds so much better. And I can delete this track. I don't need. So one thing I'll do here is quantize and then legato these. Legato, thank you. So you'll see like right off the bat. So there's some errors that you have to kind of work through. So it's like missing a couple notes here for some weird reason. Anyway, you just gotta kind of use your ears here and work through it, work through the errors. What I ended up with was this. If you play it alongside with the original, you can kind of tell that it matches.
Like a circle, no beginning. Can't you show me how to break in? Comfort me with warm and tender love.
So it's kind of a pain to correct those mistakes, but it really only took me like 5 minutes, and I kind of had it working. Once you have your MIDI set up, to go with your vocal, you go export MIDI clip, and I'm just going to put it on the desktop for now. Call it Circle Mid. I'll just replace that one. It's the same file. So at this point, I'm done with Ableton. I'm going to close that, and we're going to start up Synfire. My handy Windows menu. Hope everybody's doing all right. This does take a little bit of time to load. So my Blue Phoenix album, my next album is it's about half done. I need to write like 4 more tunes, and I'll be ready with that. And I've also got a single coming out here in June. I don't have an exact date on that, but I should have a release out on the Lucky Lotus label, which will be really fun. Turned out to be a really cool song. So anyway, I'm going to go to Synfire. I'm going to go import standard MIDI file, and I'm here on the desktop. I'm going to import that same circle.mid, and you'll see you come up with this really intimidating dialog, as all of them are in Synfire. If I click on this, this is the name of the MIDI clip from Ableton. and it's going to try to play it using a dulcimer or a bright acoustic here. I'm actually going to have it play with my own piano here, this giant piano. And with this particular track, the defaults for everything else seems to work. I've had trouble with different MIDI sequences, but for whatever reason, it nails this one pretty well. So if I go in here, because I selected piano in that import menu, it's already selected for me over here in my instrument, so I just have to hit play. So it's a good idea to check, make sure it is the right set of notes. Okay, so what Synfire has done is it's created the chord progression here, it's figured that out for me, and it's created a figure to use those notes. So really quick, we can add a sub bass, and if you're wondering how I've got all my sounds set up, I do have another tutorial on that, so check that earlier in my channel. I'm going to use auto bass. So all that's doing is it's going to play the bass note from each of these chords in this instrument. So you hear that was kind of a crummy sound. It's not quite right. So if I go to ranges, I need to fix it. So that's obviously no good. Okay, that's okay. So you want to have at least one octave of range or you start to have a lot of trouble. All right. There you go. It jumps up where it should go. Sounded pretty good so far. We haven't really done much. So I'm going to go to, I'm actually going to create some pads here really, really quick and easy. I'm going to use, I can call it soft chill here. Boink. And I'm going to use, once again, that interpretation. I'm going to do auto chords. So what that is doing is playing the chord for the particular palette entry here, as you call it. So if I hit solo on this and play. Okay. So it sounds really, really low pitched. So this is just way out. So okay, let's try that. Much better. Still really quiet, so I'm going to go in here to my global rack and find Mr. Soft Chill. He is at 0. Let's take him up a few more notches. That was weird. Okay. I feel like the sub bass was a little low. Yes, you're just a bit low. Let's take that up to -6. I would love for them to add volume knobs on these tracks. Not too shabby, huh? Not too stabby. So a little bass sound I like to use is called stabby bass. It's just kind of stabby. So if I go to 16th notes and then make sure I hit B for bass, I'm going to create bass notes. And I'm going to use this little doodad here. And the 16 says I'm going to draw notes in the 16th. Okay. So I'm going to go down to just one half a bar. And zoom, zoom, zoom. And I'm just going to draw. Oops, I didn't want to do that. Control Z. Control Z is your friend. So a little pattern I really like to use is you go 3 on the root notes, and then this one goes up an octave. Let's play that and hear how it sounds. That is not too shabby, is it? So I'm going to hit Control C. I'm going to duplicate that so we have a full bar of notes here. And then I'm just going to, what I'm going to do now is just scatter them like crazy. So the nice thing about Synfire is all these notes are going to be in the scale. So you're never going to have bass notes that sound like they don't belong, I guess. You're not going to get any chromatic notes, I'll put it that way. Unless you really want to. You can force them to be chromatic if you really try. Now, I'm not putting any thought into where these go. I'm just kind of scattering them. We'll see how it sounds. Go. That is not bad. And, you know, I really haven't put a whole lot of thought into it. If I was going to sit down and be serious about it, I might tweak where these notes are a little bit more and, you know, make it sound really good. But, I mean, it sounds pretty good as it is. And just for random scattering, I really wish I could bring the vocal clip in here so we could play it alongside and you'd be like, oh yeah, it's perfect. It lands on it, just nails it. But you can't. I guess you could have a sampler VST and then you could put your vocals into that, but yeah, I'm zooming the wrong way. So I'm going to show you too, like those little plucky chords you might hear in progressive house, maybe. Synfire makes them a breeze. I'll tell you, I've been using it for that, and it is phenomenal. Phenomenal. And let's just pop those in. And let's just do like a double tap here. And what we want to do though is group these together. So Synfire kind of knows it's like a singular idea. Okay. And we can get a little bit crazier with that too. Now that doesn't sound great because normally you would have a lot of automation accompanying these chord stabs, but you know, we're just it's kind of hard to do automation in here, so I just don't bother. So like you can go and nudge these around and kind of like invert some of them, and anyway, it just makes it kind of interesting. So. And I mean, there's so many things you can do. Like I'm like, well, that sounds kind of weird, but let me try adaptive mode. Yeah, but you know, there's just stabilizing fast. I'm sure the manual has something to say about it. Consider what other instruments you're playing. Oh, you can turn that off. But anyway, there's just a lot of things you can play with there. So that's basically how you make a bass using Synfire. Not too shabby. Now, if you want to know how to set up the sounds, look up that other tutorial. I'll tell you all about that. And if you want to learn how to make that particular sound, I've got a tutorial on that as well. Although I think it's just one of the presets in Diva. So anyway, I hope you learned something from that. And if you have any other suggestions for a tutorial, please let me know in the comments. Synfire can be pretty intimidating and there's a lot to learn. So if you have any questions, let me know and I will try to make a tutorial for you. So thanks, and I will catch you next time. Stop.